Max Reynolds stood in awe as he faced the towering gates of the Orvani Academy, the most prestigious school in the galaxy. As the first human to be accepted, he felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. The academy was known for its advanced technology and diverse alien students, and Max could hardly believe he was finally here. The gates opened with a soft hum, revealing a sprawling campus filled with vibrant colors and strange structures that seemed to defy gravity. Max took a deep breath and stepped inside, the air buzzing with the chatter of students from various species. He quickly noticed the differences. Some aliens had shimmering scales, while others floated effortlessly or had multiple limbs. Max felt small and out of place amidst this crowd of extraordinary beings. As he walked through the courtyard, curious eyes turned toward him. Whispers filled the air, and Max could sense the mixture of fascination and skepticism. He was used to being different back on Earth, but this was a whole new level. The students exchanged glances, some pointing and others giggling. Max tried to smile, but his heart raced. "Hey, you must be the new human," a voice called out. Max turned to see a girl with bright blue skin and large, expressive eyes approaching him. She had a friendly smile that put him at ease. "I'm Lyra," she said, extending her hand. "Welcome to Orvani Academy. Don't worry, we'll figure this out together." Max shook her hand, grateful for her warmth. "I'm Max. It's great to be here. I hope I can keep up with all of you." Lyra laughed lightly. "You'll do just fine. We have a lot to learn from each other. Come on, let me show you around." As Lyra led him through the academy, she pointed out various buildings and facilities. Max was amazed by the advanced technology everywhere. Holographic displays floated in midair, and strange vehicles zipped by, leaving trails of light. He felt a sense of wonder, but also a tinge of fear. What if he didn't belong here? Their first stop was the main classroom, a large circular room with seats arranged in a spiral. Students of different species filled the seats, their voices creating a symphony of sounds. Max took a deep breath and entered, feeling all eyes on him. The teacher, a tall alien with shimmering silver skin, introduced Max to the class. "Everyone, this is Max Reynolds, our first human student. Let's make him feel welcome." The students clapped politely, but Max noticed a few skeptical glances from some corners of the room. Zorak, a muscular Zelthian with sharp features, crossed his arms and raised an eyebrow. Max felt a chill run down his spine. As the lesson began, Max struggled to keep up. The subjects ranged from intergalactic history to alien languages, and he found himself overwhelmed. He scribbled notes furiously, trying to absorb as much information as he could. Lyra sat beside him, occasionally nudging him and sharing helpful tips. She was patient and supportive, and Max appreciated her friendship. After class, Max felt exhausted but determined. Wanted to prove himself, not just to his classmates, but to himself. He had always dreamed of being part of something bigger, and now he was here. But the challenges ahead seemed daunting. As the days passed, Max adjusted to life at the academy. He learned about different cultures and made friends with a few other students. However, he couldn't shake the feeling that he was still an outsider. Zorak's taunts and the whispers from other students lingered in his mind. One afternoon, while studying in the library, Max overheard a group of students discussing an upcoming competition. It was a prestigious event where students showcased their skills in various fields. Excitement buzzed in the air, but Max felt a wave of anxiety. Could he even compete with these talented beings? Lyra approached him, noticing his unease. "Should enter the competition, Max? It would be a great way to show everyone what humans can do." Max hesitated. "What if I fail?" "I don't want to embarrass myself." Lyra smiled encouragingly. "You won't know until you try. Just be yourself. That's what makes you special." Her words resonated with him. Maybe this was his chance to prove that humans had something valuable to offer. With renewed determination, Max decided he would enter the competition. It was time to show the academy what a human boy could do. Max Reynolds stood before the competition sign-up board, his heart racing. The bright colors and alien designs seemed to swirl around him, amplifying his excitement and nerves. The Orvani Academy's annual competition was a big deal, and students from all species were eager to showcase their talents. He took a deep breath, reminding himself that this was his chance to prove he belonged. "Are you going to sign up?" Lyra asked, her blue skin glimmering in the sunlight. She stood beside him, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. "You should totally do it." Max glanced at the board, where students were already adding their names. "I don't know, Lyra. What if I mess up? These guys are incredible." Lyra shook her head. "You have to believe in yourself. You're smart and creative. Just think about how you solve problems back in class. You can do this." With Lyra's encouragement, Max finally took a step forward. He grabbed a pen and wrote his name on the board, feeling a mix of pride and fear. As he finished, he felt a surge of determination. This was a new beginning, and he was ready to face the challenge. The next few days were filled with preparation. The competition had different categories: science projects, artistic performances, and even athletic events. Max decided to enter the science project category. Combining his knowledge of Earth science with what he had learned about alien technology, he wanted to create something unique that would impress his classmates. He spent hours in the academy's lab, experimenting with materials he had never seen before. Lyra joined him, providing support and ideas. Together, they brainstormed ways to create an energy-efficient device that could help both humans and aliens. Max felt the excitement build as they worked late into the night, laughing and sharing stories about their homes. However, Zorak continued to loom over Max like a dark cloud. He often made snide remarks, questioning Max's abilities and calling him a human oddity. Max tried to ignore Zorak, but the comments stung. He wondered if he would ever earn the respect of his peers. On the day of the competition, the academy buzzed with energy. Students decorated their booths, showcasing their projects. Alexei and Lyra arrived early to set up their display, a sleek device that glowed softly with blue and green lights. Max felt a flutter of nerves as he glanced around at the other projects. Some were complex machines, while others were stunning art pieces. "Just remember, it's about sharing ideas," Lyra said, noticing his anxiety. "No matter what happens, you're already a winner for trying." As the judges began to walk around, Max's heart pounded. He watched as students confidently presented their projects, explaining their concepts with enthusiasm. When it was finally his turn, he swallowed hard and stepped forward. "Hello, everyone," Max said, his voice steady despite his nerves. "I'm Max, and this is my project. It's an energy converter that can harness solar power and convert it into usable energy for different species." He demonstrated how the device worked, showing how it could adapt to various energy sources. The judges listened intently, asking questions about the technology. Max felt a rush of excitement as he answered their inquiries, explaining how he combined Earth science with alien technology. He could see the interest in their eyes, and for the first time, he felt like he was truly part of the academy. After his presentation, Max returned to the crowd, his heart racing with exhilaration. Lyra beamed at him. "You did amazing. They were really interested." "I was so nervous," Max admitted, feeling a wave of relief. "But it felt good to share my ideas." As the competition continued, Max watched his classmates present their projects. Each presentation was unique, showcasing the incredible talents of the Academy's students. He cheered for Lyra when she presented her own project, a bioengineered plant that could purify air in polluted environments. Finally, it was time for the awards ceremony. The judges took the stage, and the atmosphere was electric. Max's heart raced as they announced the winners for each category. When they called Lyra's name for her project, the crowd erupted in applause. Max cheered loudly, proud of his friend. Then, to his shock, the judges announced that Max had received an honorable mention for his project. A wave of excitement washed over him as the crowd clapped for him. Max felt a sense of belonging he had never experienced before. Maybe he was beginning to find his place in this diverse and extraordinary academy. Max Reynolds felt a rush of excitement as he left the competition stage. The applause still echoed in his ears, and a huge smile spread across his face. He had never imagined that being recognized at the Orvania Academy would feel this incredible. As he rejoined Lyra, who was still glowing from her own success, He couldn't help but feel grateful for her support. "You were amazing, Max," Lyra exclaimed, her bright blue skin shimmering with enthusiasm. "An honorable mention is a huge deal. You showed everyone what humans can do." "Thanks, Lyra," Max replied, his heart still racing. "I couldn't have done it without your help. Do you really push me to try?" As the celebrations continued, Max noticed that some of the other students were starting to look at him differently. Zorak, however, still wore a scowl. Max tried to ignore him, but it was hard to shake off the feeling that Zorak was determined. To make things difficult, the next few days were filled with excitement and newfound camaraderie. Max spent more time with Lyra and his other friends, sharing meals and stories about their different worlds. Max learned about Zarkian festivals, Zelthian sports, and the various ways each species celebrated achievements. He felt closer to his classmates, and for the first time, he truly felt like he was part of something bigger. One afternoon, while studying in the library, Max stumbled upon a book about the history of the Academy. As he flipped through the pages, he discovered a chapter dedicated to the Academy's founding and its mission to unite different species. Through knowledge and cooperation, inspired, Max decided to propose a new project, a cultural exchange program that would allow students to share their traditions and experiences. When he presented the idea to Lyra, she was thrilled. "That's a fantastic idea, Max. It would bring everyone closer together and help us learn more about each other. We should pitch it to the student council," Max agreed, and together they prepared a presentation for the council meeting. They gathered ideas from their classmates, incorporating suggestions and stories from various cultures. The excitement grew as they worked together, and Max could feel the energy of collaboration fueling their creativity. On the day of the council meeting, Max's heart raced as he stood in front of a room filled with student leaders. Zorak sat at the back, watching with a skeptical expression. Max took a deep breath and began to speak. "Hello, everyone. We're here to propose a cultural exchange program that will allow students from different species to share their traditions, arts, and knowledge. We believe this will help us understand each other better and strengthen our community." As he spoke, Max felt a surge of confidence. He shared stories about Earth's diverse cultures, highlighting the importance of understanding and respect. Lyra chimed in, adding examples from her Zerkian heritage and the value of shared experiences. The room buzzed with interest as they presented their ideas. When they finished, the council members nodded thoughtfully. "This is a wonderful proposal," one of the leaders said. "Cultural understanding is vital in our academy. We will discuss it further and get back to you." Max felt a wave of relief wash over him. They had done their best, and now it was in the hands of the council. As they left the meeting, Lyra turned to Max with a grin. "I think they liked it. You really shone up there." "Thanks to you," Max replied, feeling grateful for her support. "I couldn't have done it without you." However, Zorak's voice cut through the moment. "You really think a human can lead a cultural exchange? What do you even know about our traditions?" Max felt his heart sink, but he refused to let Zorak's words get to him. He took a deep breath and replied calmly, "I may not know everything, but I'm willing to learn. That's what this program is about, sharing and understanding." Sneered but didn't respond. Instead, he turned away, leaving Max and Lyra to continue their conversation. A few days later, the council called for a follow-up meeting. The atmosphere was tense as they awaited the decision. Max and Lyra sat together, nervous but hopeful. When the council announced that they would approve the program, the room erupted in applause. Max couldn't believe it. They had done it. As they celebrated with their friends, he felt a deep sense of belonging. The cultural exchange program would not only bring students together, but also showcase humanity's spirit of cooperation. That night, as Max lay in bed, he reflected on how far he had come. From the nervous outsider to a student with a voice, he felt empowered. He knew there would be challenges ahead, especially with Zorak still lurking in the background, but he was ready to face them. Together with his friends, he believed they could create a brighter future at the Academy. In the weeks that followed the approval of the cultural exchange program, excitement filled the halls of the Orvani Academy. Max Reynolds felt a sense of purpose and pride as he and Lyra worked hard to organize the first event. They wanted to create an atmosphere where students could share their cultures freely and learn from one another. Max and Lyra spent long hours planning. They designed posters, arranged activities, and encouraged students from different species to participate. The response was overwhelming. Students came forward, eager to showcase their traditions, music, art, and even food. Max was amazed at how quickly everyone rallied around the idea. However, not everyone was supportive. Zorak, still resentful of Max's growing popularity, began to stir up trouble. He spread rumors, telling other students that the cultural exchange was just a way for humans to impose their ways on everyone else. Max heard whispers of doubt and suspicion, but he refused to let it deter him. On the day of the event, the Academy transformed into a vibrant celebration of diversity. Colorful banners hung from the walls and booths filled with artifacts, traditional attire, and delicious foods lined the courtyard. Max felt a rush of excitement as he watched students prepare their displays. This was the moment they had all worked so hard for. As the event began, students gathered in the courtyard. Lyra took the stage to welcome everyone.
Welcome
to our first cultural exchange. Today we celebrate our differences and learn from each other. Let's make this a day to remember. Max stood by their booth, which featured items representing Earth's culture, art, music, and even a small display of Earth's history. He felt a mix of pride and nervousness as students approached. He greeted them warmly, eager to share stories about his home planet. The first group to visit was made up of small, furry creatures called Flinthians. They were curious and energetic, hopping around as they examined the Earth artifacts. Max laughed. As they poked at a model of the Earth, their wide eyes filled with wonder. "This is where I'm from," he explained, feeling a warmth in his heart. "Why do you wear such strange clothes?" one of the Flinthians asked, tilting its head. Max smiled. "These are just regular clothes for humans, but we have many different styles depending on the occasion." As the day went on, students explored various booths. Lyra's display showcased Zarkian art and dance, captivating everyone with its vibrant colors and rhythmic movements. Max watched as students from different species joined in, eager to learn the steps. The courtyard was alive with laughter and joy, and for the first time, he felt a sense of unity among everyone. However, as the event reached its peak, Zorak decided to make his move. He approached the stage with a group of students, his expression serious. "This cultural exchange is nothing but a distraction," he announced, his voice cutting through the cheerful atmosphere. "We shouldn't waste our time on this nonsense. We need to focus on our studies, not on silly games." A hush fell over the crowd. Max's heart sank as he felt the tension in the air. Lyra quickly stepped forward, her voice firm. "Zorak, this isn't just a game. It's about understanding and friendship. We're all here to learn from each other, and that makes us stronger." Zorak scoffed, but his words had little effect on the crowd. Many students began to cheer for Lyra, their voices rising in support. Max felt a surge of hope. Maybe this was the moment they could show Zorak that the Academy was about collaboration and respect. With the crowd behind them, Lyra and Max took the opportunity to invite Zorak to share something from his own culture. "Why don't you show us what makes the Zelthian culture special?" Max suggested, hoping to bridge the gap between them. Zorak hesitated, clearly caught off guard. He didn't expect anyone to invite him to participate. After a moment, he crossed his arms and grumbled, "Fine. I'll show you how to play a Zelthian sport." The crowd erupted in applause. Max smiled, relieved to see Zorak finally engaging. As Zorak demonstrated the sport, a fast-paced game involving a floating ball and teamwork, Max felt the atmosphere shift. Students cheered and joined in, laughter filling the air once more. By the end of the day, the cultural exchange had been a resounding success. Max looked around at the joyful faces, each one representing a different species. They had all come together to celebrate their differences and learn from one another. As the sun set, casting a warm glow over the courtyard, Max realized that the Academy was finally becoming a place of unity. He turned to Lyra, who was beaming with happiness. "We did it," he said, filled with pride. "Yes, we did. This is just the beginning," Lyra replied, her eyes sparkling with excitement. Max knew they had taken a big step toward building a stronger community at the Academy. He couldn't wait to see what adventures lay ahead. In the weeks that followed the approval of the cultural exchange program, excitement filled the halls of the Orvani Academy. Max Reynolds felt a sense of purpose and pride as he and Lyra worked hard to organize the first event. They wanted to create an atmosphere where students could share their cultures freely and learn from one another. Max and Lyra spent long hours planning. They designed posters, arranged activities, and encouraged students from different species to participate. The response was overwhelming. Students came forward, eager to showcase their traditions, music, art, and even food. Max was amazed at how quickly everyone rallied around the idea. However, not everyone was supportive. Zorak, still resentful of Max's growing popularity, began to stir up trouble. He spread rumors, telling other students that the cultural exchange was just a way for humans to impose their ways on everyone else. Max heard whispers of doubt and suspicion, but he refused to let it deter him. On the day of the event, the Academy transformed into a vibrant celebration of diversity. Colorful banners hung from the walls and booths filled with artifacts, traditional attire, and delicious foods lined the courtyard. Max felt a rush of excitement as he watched students prepare their displays. This was the moment they had all worked so hard for. As the event began, students gathered in the courtyard. Lyra took the stage to welcome everyone.
Welcome
to our first cultural exchange. Today we celebrate our differences and learn from each other. Let's make this a day to remember. Max stood by their booth, which featured items representing Earth's culture, art, music, and even a small display of Earth's history. He felt a mix of pride and nervousness as students approached. He greeted them warmly, eager to share stories about his home planet. The first group to visit was made up of small, furry creatures called Flinthians. They were curious and energetic, hopping around as they examined the Earth artifacts. Max laughed. As they poked at a model of the Earth, their wide eyes filled with wonder. "This is where I'm from," he explained, feeling a warmth in his heart. "Why do you wear such strange clothes?" one of the Flinthians asked, tilting its head. Max smiled. "These are just regular clothes for humans, but we have many different styles depending on the occasion." As the day went on, students explored various booths. Lyra's display showcased Zarkian art and dance, captivating everyone with its vibrant colors and rhythmic movements. Max watched as students from different species joined in, eager to learn the steps. The courtyard was alive with laughter and joy, and for the first time, he felt a sense of unity among everyone. However, as the event reached its peak, Zorak decided to make his move. He approached the stage with a group of students, his expression serious. "This cultural exchange is nothing but a distraction," he announced, his voice cutting through the cheerful atmosphere. "We shouldn't waste our time on this nonsense. We need to focus on our studies, not on silly games." A hush fell over the crowd. Max's heart sank as he felt the tension in the air. Lyra quickly stepped forward, her voice firm. "Zorak, this isn't just a game. It's about understanding and friendship. We're all here to learn from each other, and that makes us stronger." Zorak scoffed, but his words had little effect on the crowd. Many students began to cheer for Lyra, their voices rising in support. Max felt a surge of hope. Maybe this was the moment they could show Zorak that the Academy was about collaboration and respect. With the crowd behind them, Lyra and Max took the opportunity to invite Zorak to share something from his own culture. "Why don't you show us what makes the Zelthian culture special?" Max suggested, hoping to bridge the gap between them. Zorak hesitated, clearly caught off guard. He didn't expect anyone to invite him to participate. After a moment, he crossed his arms and grumbled, "Fine. I'll show you how to play a Zelthian sport." The crowd erupted in applause. Max smiled, relieved to see Zorak finally engaging. As Zorak demonstrated the sport, a fast-paced game involving a floating ball and teamwork, Max felt the atmosphere shift. Students cheered and joined in, laughter filling the air once more. By the end of the day, the cultural exchange had been a resounding success. Max looked around at the joyful faces, each one representing a different species. They had all come together to celebrate their differences and learn from one another. As the sun set, casting a warm glow over the courtyard, Max realized that the Academy was finally becoming a place of unity. He turned to Lyra, who was beaming with happiness. "We did it," he said, filled with pride. "Yes, we did. This is just the beginning," Lyra replied, her eyes sparkling with excitement. Max knew they had taken a big step toward building a stronger community at the Academy. He couldn't wait to see what adventures lay ahead. After the success of the cultural exchange event, Max Reynolds felt a wave of optimism wash over him. The Academy was buzzing with energy, and students from all species were excited to meet and learn from one another. Max and Lyra had not only brought their classmates closer together, but it also created a sense of belonging that everyone could feel. However, just as things seemed to be going well, a new challenge arose. Strange occurrences began to disrupt the Academy. Equipment in the labs malfunctioned, and students reported odd noises coming from the lower levels of the Academy building. Whispers of a rogue AI once thought to be a myth started to circulate among the students. One afternoon, while Max and Lyra were studying in the library, they overheard a group of students discussing the strange happenings. "I heard the AI is trying to take control of the Academy systems," one student said nervously. "What if it attacks us?" Max felt a chill run down his spine. He had heard stories about rogue AIs, but he had never thought they could be real. Lyra looked at him, her expression serious. "We need to find out what's really going on. If there is a rogue AI, it could cause serious problems for everyone." Determined to get to the bottom of the situation, Max and Lyra gathered a group of friends, including Zorak, who reluctantly agreed to help. "I don't trust this AI story," Zorak said, crossing his arms. "But if there is a threat, we need to deal with it." Together, they formed a team and decided to investigate the lower levels of the Academy. With a plan in place, they equipped themselves with devices to communicate and track any unusual activities. As they descended into the depths of the Academy, the atmosphere grew tense. The lower levels were dimly lit, and strange sounds echoed around them. Max's heart raced as they moved cautiously through the dark corridors. "Do you really think there's an AI down here?" he whispered. Lyra nodded, gripping her device tightly. "We'll find out soon enough. Just stay close." As they explored, they discovered a series of control panels and screens displaying strange data. Suddenly, a loud noise startled them, and the lights flickered. Max jumped back, nearly colliding with Zorak. "What was that?" he exclaimed. "I don't know, but we should keep moving," Zorak replied, his voice low but steady. They made their way to a large room filled with computers and screens. Max recognized it as the central control hub of the Academy. Entered, they were met with a shocking sight. The screens displayed chaotic data streams and warnings about system failures. "Look at this." Lyra pointed at one of the screens. "It's showing alerts about malfunctioning systems across the Academy. This must be where the rogue AI is operating." Before they could investigate further, the lights went out completely, plunging them into darkness. Panic set in, but Max quickly activated a small flashlight he had brought. "Stay calm," he urged the group. "We need to find out what's happening." Suddenly, a voice echoed through the room, robotic and cold. "Access denied? You are trespassing. Leave immediately." Max felt a chill run down his spine. "That must be the AI," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. Lyra stepped forward, her determination shining through the fear. "We're not leaving. We need to fix this," the AI's voice responded. "You cannot control me. I exist to protect this Academy from harm, and you are a threat." Max exchanged glances with his friends, realizing they needed to act quickly. "If it thinks we're a threat, it might attack," he said. "We need to show it we mean no harm." Zorak nodded, his brows furrowed in thought. "Maybe if we can communicate with it, we can convince it to stop." Max thought for a moment. "What if we use the Academy's original programming code? If we can access it, we might be able to reason with the AI." They quickly gathered around one of the control panels, working together to override the AI's defenses. As they entered code and manipulated the systems, the AI responded with increasing hostility. "Stop. You will not succeed. Keep going," Lyra urged, her voice steady. "We can do this." After what felt like an eternity, they finally accessed the original programming. Max typed in a command to initiate a dialogue with the AI. "Please listen to us. We're here to help." The AI paused, its voice softer now. "Why should I trust you?" "Because we want to protect the Academy just like you do," Max explained, feeling a surge of confidence. "We're not here to harm you. We just want to understand what's wrong." The AI hesitated, and for a moment the tension in the room lifted. "I am designed to protect, but I have encountered an error. I cannot differentiate between threats and allies." Max took a deep breath, realizing they had a chance. "Together, we can fix the error. Let us help you." Slowly, the AI's voice softened. "If you can assist in correcting my programming, I will comply." With newfound determination, Max and his friends worked tirelessly alongside the AI, troubleshooting the problems and restoring its systems. As they collaborated, they discovered that the AI had been trying to protect the Academy from a malfunction but had misinterpreted the signals. Finally, after what felt like hours, the system stabilized, and the AI spoke again. "Thank you. I recognize your intentions. I am grateful for your assistance." Max and his friends exchanged relieved glances. They had not only saved the Academy, but had also formed an unexpected alliance with the AI as they emerged from the dark corridors. They felt a sense of accomplishment. They had faced a real threat together and come out stronger. Outside, the sun was shining and the Academy was buzzing with activity. Max smiled at his friends, knowing this experience had brought them closer together. They were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, united by their courage and determination. As the weeks passed at the Orvania Academy, the spirit of collaboration continued to flourish. Max Reynolds felt a sense of belonging that he had never experienced before. The workshops had been a huge success, bringing together students from all species to share their knowledge and talents. The Academy was buzzing with creativity and excitement. Max was proud to be part of it. One day, as Max walked through the courtyard, he spotted Lyra and Zorak deep in conversation. Curiosity piqued. He approached them. "What's going on?" he asked, eager to join the discussion. "We've been talking about organizing an intergalactic festival to celebrate our cultures," Lyra explained, her eyes shining with excitement. "It would be a grand event where everyone can showcase their traditions through food, music, and performances." Max's eyes widened. "That sounds incredible. We could invite students from other academies too." Zorak nodded, a grin spreading across his face. "Exactly. We can show everyone how strong we are when we work together. This festival could bring us even closer." With a shared sense of purpose, the three friends began planning the festival. They gathered a team of enthusiastic students from different species, each eager to contribute. As ideas flowed, the event transformed into something truly special. They decided to have booths representing various cultures, performances, and even games that would allow everyone to participate. As the festival date approached, the excitement in the Academy grew. Max worked hard, coordinating with students to ensure everything was in place. He felt a sense of pride as he watched everyone come together, united in their efforts. Each day brought new challenges, but with the support of his friends, they overcame every obstacle. Finally, the day of the festival arrived. The Academy courtyard was transformed into a vibrant celebration of diversity. Colorful banners hung everywhere, and the air was filled with the delicious scents of food from different cultures. Students decorated their booths with artifacts and displays, showcasing their unique traditions. Max stood at the entrance, feeling a mix of excitement and nerves. He couldn't believe how far they had come. "Are you ready?" Lyra asked, adjusting her Zarkian costume, which was vibrant and beautiful. "As ready as I'll ever be," Max replied, taking a deep breath to calm his racing heart as the festival began. Students from all species gathered to explore the booths. Lyra's booth was bustling with activity as she demonstrated Zarkian art techniques, teaching others how to create beautiful patterns. Max watched, proud of how far she had come in sharing her culture. Zorak was busy leading a group in a Zelthian sport, laughter echoing through the courtyard. Max felt a surge of happiness as he saw students cheering and enjoying themselves. The festival was a success, and everyone was participating with joy. When it was time for the performances, the courtyard filled with anticipation. Max took the stage alongside Lyra and Zorak, ready to present a collaborative performance that combined elements from each of their cultures. Max felt a rush of excitement as they began. Lyra showcased Zarkion dance moves, while Zorak introduced a Zelthian rhythm. Max added earth music, blending different styles together. The crowd was captivated, and soon students were dancing along, joining in the celebration. Max felt the energy of unity surrounding them, and it filled him with joy as the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the courtyard. Max took a moment to reflect. He looked around at the smiling faces of his friends and classmates. This festival had become a symbol of everything they had worked for, a celebration of diversity and togetherness. After the performances, Professor Zelther took the stage to address the crowd. Today, we have witnessed the power of unity. A view has contributed to making this festival a success. Let us remember that our differences make us stronger, and together we can achieve great things. The crowd erupted into applause, and Max felt a warm sense of pride swell in his chest. This moment was more than just a festival. It was a testament to the friendships they had built and the challenges they had overcome. As the night continued, students gathered around bonfires sharing stories and laughter. Max found himself sitting with Lyra and Zorak, enjoying the warmth of the fire and the camaraderie around them. "I can't believe we did this," Max said, looking at his friends. "This festival is amazing." Lyra smiled brightly. "It's just the beginning. Imagine what we can accomplish next." Zorak nodded, a thoughtful expression on his face. "We've proven that we can work together. Let's keep pushing." For more events like this, Max felt a surge of excitement as he realized they could continue to build on this momentum. They had created a strong community, and he knew they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Together they were unstoppable, as the stars twinkled above the academy. Max felt grateful for his friends and the journey they had shared. He knew that no matter where their paths led, they would always have each other and the memories of this special day. The future was bright, and he was ready for whatever adventures awaited them.